Hi everybody. So yeah, I'm about to work out actually. I'm supposed to be working out right now, but I'm not gonna work out until I got this off my chest because I go by impulse. So whenever there's an impulse of me to do something, I have to do it at that moment or I will not do it at all. I really, when it comes to talking, I really depend on my impulse. Yeah, I don't really like planned sessions. But nonetheless, I have to get into routine at some point because I am planning on doing a lot more of these things, guys, videos and all that. So, guys, um, yeah, I just want to share something with you. And I think every single time I always say when I share something with you, it's like I'm sharing something with myself as well, like minister to you, ministering to me. Otherwise the motivation to say this wouldn't be there if maybe something didn't trigger me and I got an aha moment. Okay, so guys, I've been following the law of assumption for about a year now. I actually started last year, but I started with the law of attraction and so forth. So I was listening to everything, listening to every coach, listening to every person, right? And I now have a few of my favorites. I've got Ava, I've got Sammy, I've got Kim, got Kim again, I got two Kims, I got Jasmine. Jasmine, what I love is her meditations. Roxy was one of my first peeps that I listened to, and I must say in the beginning I didn't really quite get it, but the minute I jumped over to the law of assumptions, then I realized that things were just simpler for me. Okay. And the more I listen to other people's experiences and success stories, the more motivated I become. But I realized that it's not about the knowledge of things, it's about the implementation of those things, right? The awareness and the implementation of what you are aware of is very important, makes all the difference. So guys, I'm now at a point where, yeah, I can see that I'm progressing. I'm on a different level than I was before. I'm definitely not at the baby steps level. There was a point last year, I'd say I was at the baby steps because I was hot and cold. I was in and out. I would get impatient and all of that. Now I'm like literally, I've seen so much movement with the things that I intentionally went for that it's scary, right? Like it is super scary, but scary in such a good way. So even I've always been very passionate about relationships, and I think that's where most of my mind set mentality had to change. That's where I would apply. I would be very aware of the assumption journey, and I would deliberately create negative circumstances that I wouldn't want, because that's easy, hey? Like that's very easy. So when I started this thing out, I'm like, okay, the more I'm figuring it out, the more I'm realizing, like, let me trick myself, let me trick the subconscious. So I would specifically play around, I would juggle around with my relationships, really use them as, guinea pigs. So I was in this relationship. I am in it now, still working. I I manifested a lot of breakups and unpleasant circumstances in my love life when it comes to the way that I used to think. And one of the things that I learned from the law of assumption is that everyone is you pushed out. Every experience that you have is you pushed out. You manifested this at some point. And when I sat down and I did a true assessment, I truly, truly, truly realized that that was the case. And my mind, how I thought, my dominant thoughts really played a role in the experiences that that kept on showing up in my life. And it just takes you knowing that you are the creator of your situations, all right? And that people show up in your life the way that you want them to show up. You give them the script. And if you want the script to change, you give them another script. So I gave my partner a script, a very negative script. And lo and behold, when I was least expecting that script to show up, the script played out itself. And as a director, I immediately had to oh my gosh, I created it. But there was a time when the negative script unfolded and manifested. And my boyfriend and I, it just happened out of the blue, you guys. Like, I created the script and I forgot I did it, ne? And then I just went about my life, forgotten that and not even doing anything to go against the script. Went about my merry life, and the day that I least expected it, the script unfolded, it manifested. And when it manifested, I was taken aback that I actually caved into the script. When it happened, it took me a while to be like, hey, get out. You created this and you can recreate something that you like. I sat there for about 3 days. During the 3 days, I was negative. I don't want him. Yeah, I even involved God in it. This is a sign from God that this is over. All of that. I was going through the most. I was a victim. I was the one who was wronged. I was the victim of my own doing. I'm like, but whoa. When things became fun, then we seriously had a chat with my partner. Called me and he told me, we had a call. I even wrote him a letter that sort of suggested that this is over. And then he called me and he literally gave me the script that I gave him. He's like, as I thought about him, that he's going to say he's done with the relationship, he literally did that. Called me and said that the relationship is over. He can't handle this no more. So, then I was like, oh my goodness. After that phone call, there was a calm. Before the phone call, I was anxious. There was a calm. And then I was sad, and then I was crying, and I was emotional, and I didn't believe that it happened. I manifested this thing. I created it on purpose, and it actually happened. And I gave into it with no resistance now whatsoever, and I let it go, and it happened. So if I could recreate something like this, it took me a day to figure out, do I really want to be with this guy? Why am I feeling so sad? And something just told me, this is not it, Lerato. This is not it for you. You want your man. You want this person. And I was like, no, I'm not happy with this. I can change my mind because I know I created this. It didn't just happen. I created this. So that means that I have creative powers so that I can create something different. So then I decided there and there that this shit stops now. And I'm going to change my mind about this relationship. And as soon as I changed my mind and I gave him a new script, it's like we never broke up. It's like the fight never happened. It's like literally nothing ever happened. We are still on good terms. He loves me. I'm the only person that he loves. He thinks positive things about me. He has no memory of what broke us up in the first place. In fact, it's like we never even broke up. We've never broken up and all that. So I said, I revised everything. And I just never felt the absence. I had to get into that mindset of not feeling that he's not here. And lo and behold, it didn't even take long. I think it took about a week or so. And I imagined him calling me and saying that we need to talk. And I imagined it, we need to talk. And then I imagined him coming over to my place. And then I said to him, let's go to your place. And then he took me to his place and then we talked about everything. I imagined us talking. I imagined us making up and thinking how silly we were to think that we could ever live without each other in this world and blah, 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 blah. And we kissed and made up and it was like the fight never happened. I imagined that in my head over and over again. Up until this one time, after a week so of doing that, of saturating myself in that, then he did exactly that. He called and he's like, I do you have time? Do you think we can talk? He wrote it like that. And then I said, yes, we can talk, but I think your place is better. Like I literally, like whatever happened in my imagination that I held on to is exactly what happened. And then we talked and then we figured things out and then we kissed and made up and it's like it never happened. And our relationship is stronger than ever, which were some of the things that I was affirming for a lot. So I want to say to you guys that you need to know that your imagination is creating the entire time. So how you think about a situation, how you think about a person, what you think you mean to a person is exactly how they're going to show up. So if you always think that your boyfriend is going to leave you, chances are you are creating a situation that will get there. The universe will bring situations that will make sure that whatever you are dominantly thinking about happens, because it thinks that whatever you impress on the subconscious thinks that that's what you want. It takes it as an order. And then it goes and creates situations that are going to get you the result that you want. Do you understand what I'm saying? And once you become aware of that, you need to take back your power to say, well, that means that I am now intentionally going to be creating situations where I want to see things. Immediately you see a problem, immediately imagine the solution to that problem, and then you'll be fine.